Good morning. Today we are working on packet number 4. It is due on November 25th, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, our last day of the trimester. Remember, there will be no late packets accepted. They must be turned in by then. First page. Judy listed a fifth number with the set of data 3, 6, 7, and 10. The number she included made the mean of the 5 numbers equal to their median. What number could Judy have included with the data? So there are a couple different numbers that work. So just know there are a couple of answers. You need to add up these 4 numbers. Think about what a 5th number could be. What that mean is adding up all 5 numbers, dividing it by 5, it should equal the median, the middle number in your list. Okay, so it's going to be a little trial and error. We see 3 plus 6 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, 16 plus 10 is 26. I'm going to add another number. It's going to be a lower number, like the ones we have. I'm not going to be adding 52 to it, right? Add a number, add that to the 26, divide it by 5, and do you get the median to be the same as the mean? Like I said, there are a couple of numbers that will work. A little trial by error. But it has to match. It can't be 6.5 and 6. Oh yeah, it matches. No, it doesn't. 6.5 is not 6. They have to match exactly. Okay. Mean and median. Next page. On a recent airline flight, there was 1 empty seat for every 3 passengers. If there were 132 total seats on the plane, how many passengers were on the flight? So what are we going to be skip counting by? Nope. 1 empty for every 3 passengers. How many seats is that, Henry? 4 seats. Right, so we're skipping by 4s. So what can we do with that 132? Henry?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4. That's going to tell you how many empty seats there are. Because there's 1 empty seat for every 3. We want to know how many passengers were on the flight. Okay, so I'm working you through. We've got 3 passengers, empty seat. 3 passengers, empty seat. All right, so we're skipping by those 4s. So figure out down to the 1. And then figure out what you need to multiply by to see how many passengers altogether there are. Our next page is our 5-card challenge. Remembering our rules with that 5-card challenge. You have to follow the rules of PERMDAS, right? If you want to add before you multiply, you need parentheses. If you want to do exponents, you can do exponents, okay? Can we do a square root? No, because we don't have the 2 up in this listing. To do a square root, you have to have the 2, okay? Get up to at least 15, see if you can find a 5-card equation equaling that 2. The ace is always worth 1. Okay, it's not poker, or not blackjack. Ace is always worth 1. All right, next page. We need to complete the table for the number of blue blocks and the total blocks. So let's fill in what we know. 1 blue, 0 green, 0 red is 1 total. 1 blue, 5 green, 0 red is 6 total. Then we have 1 blue, 5 red, 5 green, 9 red, gives me a 15 total. And this fourth figure, now we have 14 blue, 5 green, 9 red, and 28 total. For me, even though I only have to fill in the blue and the total, I can find my pattern for the total blocks, and I'm gonna help you see that pattern. I don't know the pattern for the blue blocks. So for me, it helps me to fill in the green and the red. See those patterns, so I can fill in those blue blocks. Okay, so what does that look like? Let's look at our total blocks. Anybody see any patterns from going to 1 to 6 to 15 to 28? Victoria?
The figures were 20 and 16 multiplied by 15
If I look at my figure number, I'm multiplying it by, Victoria said, odd numbers. 2 times 3. Figure 3 times 5. Figure 4 times 7. So always be looking for those patterns. It might be with that figure number. It could be with my favorite numbers, those perfect squares. This time it's not a perfect square, but Victoria's absolutely right. We have the figure number being multiplied by those odd numbers going up. So continue that pattern. So what would our next number be? What would I be multiplying?
45.
Yeah, how did you get that?
500.
Figure 5, and I'm just going up by those odd numbers. So now I have to figure out my blues. Anybody know what my next blue number is going to be? Clara?
15.
Yeah. What's the next one after that? Emily?
15.
Yeah. Do we know our next one? Oh, that's where we go, ooh, I can figure out my total blocks. I can get down to figure 6, but it says to do all the blue blocks. Uh-oh, I don't know what to do. That's why I have to figure these out. So I don't know what my next green is. Do I know what my next red is? What's it gonna be, Ellen?
9.
9. Well, if I have 3 boxes filled in and I have 1 empty, can I figure out that green? What math do I have to do, Emily?
14 plus 9. And then that minus 45.
Yeah. 45 minus these two, and I'll be left with that green number. And then I can fill in the next 3 greens. And then I can figure out, oh, what the reds ones are gonna be. And then I can figure out what the blues are gonna be. So for me, I did it the long way and filled in all the numbers, so that way I knew I was getting the right numbers. Okay, so we really helped you out finding the pattern for the total blocks. Your job is to fill in the other numbers to figure out the rest of the blue. All right, next page. Ooh, our net page. We have a new, did I skip a page? I did. We have our perimeter and area. Oh boy, this one got complicated fast. What complicated this one? Elliot?
The round part.
Yeah, we have a rounded part. What kind of shape would that be?
A circle.
Yeah, but it's only a half circle. So we need to remember how to do perimeter and area with a circle, and then divide it by 2, because it's only half a circle, right? We know how to do the perimeter and area of a rectangle, adding up the outside. Then for that perimeter, we have to add on that half circle. So who remembers, we call it, the perimeter we call a circumference of the circle. What is the formula for that circumference of a circle?
Is it, the plane times the radius?
Nope, good guess.
Pi r times 2.
So there are two ways we could do it. We could do 2 times pi times r, or instead of that 2 times the radius, that's the same as the diameter. Diameter goes all the way across. The radius, remember, goes from the middle across. So we're given the diameter times pi, but remember it's only half a circle, so you have to divide it by 2. Then you add that to your perimeter of your rectangle. Perimeter is just the outside. That gets us the perimeter. Area, remember the area of our rectangle is the length times the width. What is the area of our circle? Finley,
Half times, pi squared.
close. Anybody else want to give a shot at the area of a circle?
Is it pi times the radius squared?
Yes. Pi times the radius squared. That is for the full circle's area. So you need to find that and then divide it by 2 because it's a half circle. So remember what I said, that radius is from the middle out. So did they give us the radius?
Pretty much.
Did they give us the radius?
No.
They gave us the diameter. So we have to figure out from that diameter what the radius is to plug in to our area of the circle. That radius is half of the diameter. So half of the diameter. You put in here, you square it. What does it mean to square? Ellen?
You multiply that number by the same number.
Multiply the radius by itself. You don't multiply it by 2. When we square, we're multiplying it by itself. Okay? You can use your calculator too. You can put in that number and square it. Multiply by pi. Divide it by 2 and add it to the area of our rectangle. Colton?
Do we round?
Rounding to the 100th place.
Okay.
Rounding to the 100th. You can do pi, or you can do 3.14. I have both answers. They are slightly different. But I will always have both answers. Next page, we have a new shape. Whew. New perimeter and area we had to do, new shape we have to get a net of. This is a right rectangular prism. I need to cut down those edges to lay that pyramid out flat. What is the bottom shape of my pyramid? Victoria? It's that square. So I'm gonna start with my square, or my net. What is the length of each side of my square? Finley?
8 feet.
Now I need to do the sides that I'm gonna be putting down. What shape are my sides? Ellen?
Triangle.
What measurement do I know about my triangle? Victoria? The height. That height is going straight up the middle here. I need to put it straight up the middle of my triangles. Of each triangle. A lot of us that have been turning it in have been saying these are our edges. They are not. That 16 is the height. It is not the edge on the outside. That 16 is in the middle of the triangle, not on the side. So we have to label correctly. Remember, to find the surface area, You find the area of all the sides and you add them together. So find the area of our square and the area of our 4 triangles, and then add all 5 of those sides together to get your surface area. So just a reminder, the area of that rectangle is length times width. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. So remember, base is that bottom. The height is going from the base to the tip. Don't forget, it's 1/2 base times height. That's important. Add all of them together for that surface area. Next page is the volume page. So our volume of our rectangular prism is length times width times height. Because it's a pyramid, we are dividing that by 3. So we have length times width times that height of 6. So write your calculation, what you're gonna put into your calculator, the numbers you are putting in, and then actually put it in your calculator, do the math, and tell me what the volume is. Then we have to do our question. Recall that the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the volume of a cube with the same base, width, and height dimensions. What is the volume of the cube that this pyramid was cut from? So, who remembers the volume of the cube formula? Elliot.
Base times length times width times height.
Yeah, just length times width times height. So you're gonna use the same numbers, but you're not gonna divide it by 3, because we want the cube that it came from. So you're gonna do the length times the width times the height. That answer goes down here. Okay. Now, our next page is that Pascal's triangle. On the left side of each row, number the row. So everybody's going to number on the left side. Remember, the very top row, we start with 0. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. On the right side of the row, write the sum of its elements. So here, 1, just as the 1. Here we have 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 is 6, 7, 8. And here we have 10, 14, 15. You are going to continue adding. Oops, I counted wrong. 10, 14, 15, 16. Sorry. You're going to continue adding and putting those sums on the right side. Then we're going to use that information to answer our questions. What relationship exists between the sum of any row and the sum of the row before it? So look at the, oh no, we're not saying it, you're going to write it. Number 2, following this pattern, what is the sum of row 11? What would our next sum be? Write it. Number 3 is the tricky one. What is the relationship between the row number on the left and the sum of the elements of the row in the row? So we're going to be looking from here over to here. Oh. I'm telling you, this is a tricky one. I've already had one friend figure it out, which I was pretty impressed that they figured it out. Very impressive. I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with exponents. So you are going to want to try to figure out exponents, how we go from here to here. Yeah, using exponents. That's my hint I'm giving this week. Next week I might give more of a hint because it's a tricky one. Number 4, following this pattern, what is the sum of row 16? So you could continue we know how to get, if you answered number 2, you'd be able to answer number 4. If you can figure out number 3, you could answer number 4 really easy. Okay. But you should be able to do 1, 2, and 4, and then really work on that number 3, figuring out those exponents, how that is going to work out. Then we have a data page. Is Channel 1 News a popular program? Use specific data to support your answer. So these are all Channel 1 News, the 1 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock, the 9:30, and the 11 o'clock news. We have the months of the year, and we have millions of viewers per day. Write out an answer using the data from our graph to answer the question, do you think Channel 1 News is a popular program? So use the information from our graph to give me an answer, yes or no. Okay. You're gonna say yes or no, and then explain why. Our last page is the polyomino. Slide them over, no turning, no flipping, just slide them all into place. That is our packet number 4. It is due on the 25th. Have it to me by next week, Friday, to make any corrections. If you are watching at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.